This is Josh here from InsideWrestlingTruth, and today I have Juicy Jimmy Feltcher and Father Fear.
How did he get top billing?
Because I'm really just a lot better.
You're a lot bigger, you're not a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
This is the second time I've interviewed these guys, and I really don't know how I got them both in the same room, but it's a privilege, you guys.
It is for you, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a privilege for you, and you fat fuck, you should be blessed.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, the first thing I want to ask you all is, how did y'all meet?
Oh, Lord.
Okay, I'll tell the story because he won't tell the truth.
Now, hold on now. Why is it automatically off the bat, I won't tell the truth?
Well, because I like to talk first.
Yeah.
I went to a show in the Jeffersonville or Clarksville. That roller rink where they run the shit show right now.
Oh,
the Jammers.
Yeah. They've really evolved.
Yeah, they've evolved. Yeah, they've evolved from 5 to 20. Anyway, yeah, good point. Somebody dragged me to the show and said, go, because Alistair said, Dad, come up and see the show, so I did. And I didn't know who this guy was. And apparently, Alistair said, he talking to me, I'm sitting there eating some popcorn, and this queer comes out of the ring and shoves it, and I have my popcorn right here between my legs, And he walks up and sticks his hands down in my bag of popcorn. Apparently, he didn't know who I was either. After the show, they sent some referee chick, Charlene Macacumber or something, I don't know what her name is. But anyway, she said, "Hey, biker people," and I turned around and I think she said something to the effect of, "Somebody wants to meet you," and it was Juicy Queer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Biker people.
Yeah, it was something else. It was an interesting night.
And then as a sidebar, I believe you went over to the bar after the show with us. What's the name of that little bar that's over there by?
I don't know, but I didn't go.
Bullshit.
I don't drink.
We were eating. We had a meal.
Who did?
Because Digger
You were
was over.
gimmicked up. You were doing the pills back then because Digger was there. Because Digger's the one that told me, he said, that Jimmy guy, that big queer? I said, yeah. He said, he ain't a bad dude. He's pretty cool to hang out with. Yeah, because he told me.
Because I was afraid to knock Clyde in front of Digger at first, and then he opened up. And,
yeah, I wasn't there.
Okay, never mind.
Because I don't associate with wrestling.
a lot of drugs over the years.
Exactly. You were so gimmicked up that night you didn't even know who your mom was.
Yeah, I
You still don't. Yeah, I know. Sorry.
What kind of drugs did you partake in?
Fuck. Percocets, Valiums, Lortabs. We got a little Coke. I would do it. Definitely marijuana. But not to completely bury myself.
This ought to be good.
A lot of that stuff's in the past, and I've kind of put all of that behind me and moving forward.
Wow.
Politically correct.
A couple years ago, I don't know how many people know this, and he's probably going to knock me off this chair.
That would be fun.
But Jimmy here, he decided to overstep his boundaries when it comes to the chemical world.
Yeah, I found out the hard way on that one.
Yeah, and Jimmy, and he won't admit it, or maybe he will, but Jimmy tried to meet God, if you believe in that thing. And yeah, he took it a little too much. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
I thought they were M&Ms.
Yeah, he was taking them like M&Ms. And Jimmy ended up in
rehab.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead.
I wasn't going to say that, but but thankfully Jimmy got his shit straight. Jimmy got his shit straight. My son, all of my sons got their shit straight. Every one of my sons, people, every one of them, including one of them that's pretty close right now, got their shit straight and realized that there's more to life than walking around being fucked up. But Jimmy's doing all right now. He can count to 10, and he's clear and he's focused and he's working hard. The best booker in the business, hands down. I hate him though, but hands down the best booker.
Yeah.
Well, what happened with y'all's wedding?
Well, first of all, it wasn't you all's wedding. Wow. Yeah, let me give my version. You give your version.
Because we have to tell the backstory to it.
But I'm going to give a short version, okay?
Okay.
Jimmy obviously has this fantasy about my butt. And when Jimmy met me, he wanted me for real. So he conjured up this gimmick where he's gonna marry me. This motherfucker's feeling my ass, rubbing my balls in the ring in front of people, all kinds of crazy shit. And I, of course, it was retarded. And but I'll let Jimmy tell the story because I'm gonna smoke a cigarette and be drinking coffee real quick. So go ahead, Jimmy.
Thanks for killing you.
Boy, ain't that fuck you. I got time for that.
No, we were working for this promoter.
Well, isn't it feminine? Look at this. Go ahead.
Fag shit.
It's your cup, bitch.
But we were working for this promoter, Matt Douglas, and he at the time ran. Was it just Supreme Championship Wrestling back then, or was it? It wasn't AWA Supreme.
It was just Supreme. It was SCW because he bought the name of the company out from underneath the people who had the company.
Yes, yeah. He posted the check in the dressing room.
Yeah,
remember?
Yeah. This is my company, bitches. That's what he said.
Yeah,
I love Matt. What a crook.
Yeah.
It's like a.
But we were standing outside of the building there one night, and he for whatever reason loved these just far out there. I'll call them like they were, over the top gay angles. And he said,
"Did you ever wonder why?" I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well,
I love you, Matt Douglas. Look, cool guy.
But we were outside the building talking one night because it was really convenient because we would just go there through the week and we would train and like.
Excuse me, I'll sign that picture for you when we're done. Go ahead.
Yeah, quit putting yourself over.
I love myself. I touch myself.
Never mind.
Somebody got to do it.
We'd be hanging outside the building. He says, "What if about a thing where you do a thing where you all get married?" Of course, this one here, ha ha ha, funny motherfucker. Well,
exactly.
we do a series of events here, and however, when the wedding, we were a week away, and the fucking company folds up. It never got to happen.
It was prophetic. I told you I would never marry you. So.
But, however, somewhere out there, and if somebody has it, I'd love to see it. There's footage of me getting on one knee somewhere and proposing to Father Fair here.
And he has a check for like 10 grand. Of course, I know.
It was a fucking piece of blank paper.
It doesn't matter. It looked like a check. It was a good prop. Fuck, you think I'm going to marry you? It's not going to be for free.
Okay. Yeah, but obviously that didn't happen.
No, there are wedding invitations were printed up and everything. It was fun. Yeah. We're not going to do that again.
D1W North.
Oh, what a clusterfuck that was. The Rick Brady and Matt Douglas wars when Rick Brady showed up in his house.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Man, we could tell you shit that make your dick loose.
What's your favorite road story?
Oh, God.
I don't have any because I was always a Christian.
Shit.
Yeah, you might have some. You probably blew half the wrestling world,
Wow, that's...
You got stretch marks around your mouth.
You don't have pubic hair hanging off my chin.
You wish you could grow the pubic hair.
No, but as far as road stories, Josh, I think there's so many of them. Like some of the stories from Carmine, Evansville. This isn't necessarily a road story, but it's a story I will never forget. We were in Carmine, Illinois one evening there, and it had known to get kind of wild. There was this fellow by the name of Adam Gooch there. And...
Wow.
You know where I'm going.
Yeah. All means, get there.
They let these fans basically come up and hit on the wrestlers, okay? And there was this one handicapped fan there. And
wait a minute. When we say handicap, we mean handicap. I mean, this guy, when he talks, and I'm not making fun, so please don't take it that way. He was obviously handicapped. You could see it with your eyeballs. He had the handicapped teeth, and he would get all twisted up, and he would grunt at you and stuff. I mean, you knew that there was an obvious problem. Great kid, I love him, and I'm not picking on him. The point I'm trying to make is, a second grader could have looked at that man, or child, whatever you want to call it, and known he was handicapped.
Well,
so don't make it sound like you.
No.
The man was handicapped.
The kid comes up and basically does this to Gooch, and Gooch turns and looks, and then hauls off and clocks him right above the eyebrow, splits him. All hell breaks loose at that moment. Digger was there. Digger was had Adam Gooch in the dressing room. Him and Pondo both called him a no good piece of shit, which that pretty well sums Gooch up for you. Gooch gets chased out of the building by Digger and a group of fans who were pissed off, and then we proceed to see Isaiah sitting on the ringside apron, almost like in a church service type thing, basically having this rally cry after they've loaded this kid up on a stretcher, and we basically asked the people, do you want to continue this show? And they say, yeah, we want to continue the show. But apparently when Digger chased Gooch out of the building, Gooch, and I find this really convenient, that he had someone meet him up the road after they were chasing him and basically got in a getaway car and left, only to be pulled over and arrested, and that's a whole nother fucking story in itself.
Great night, a lot of fun.
Pure fucking chaos.
That kid bled wow.
Oh, dude. There was blood all over this floor.
And to this day, the mother forgave Gooch and said, please let him work again.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
tell me there ain't some fucking cash involved there, Sam. Hi, Sam.
Yeah. The cash man. The money man.
What's some of your most memorable moments?
Well,
mine's real easy. The look on Matt Douglas's face when we changed the ending at over at Madison.
Yeah.
That's got to be up there at the top. The night of Destination 1, I guess it was my last night.
Christmas Chaos.
Christmas Chaos.
That was not our last night.
Oh, it might
it was my last night.
It was your last night, and it might as well have been mine. Yeah, that was fun.
Why do we feel the people in here? Well, you know what?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you because I don't remember a lot of it.
You basically held church out in the middle of the ring.
Oh, Destination 1. Yeah, I mean, I was like up there doing a little promo, and I had them having a good time, and I was a heel.
People were clapping and agreeing with you.
It was great. You would have thought I was Jesus. I mean, I was telling them what they really wanted to hear, and all I was telling them was the truth. And that's no promo. I mean, I was just telling them the truth. And the guy who ran the company, great friend of mine, dear friend, I've known him for a long time. But anyway, Rick Brady. And I think it scared him because I had the crowd turned against the guy, and next thing I know, I was pretty much unemployed. That night you beat up the chicks?
Yes.
As a chick?
Because I was on right after your segment, and my immortal words to you were, well, I don't know how I'm going to go out there and top this one.
Yeah. Well, you did, though. You beat the chick up. Well, wait a minute. That's what they said you did.
That's what they. Now, apparently I was doing cocaine in the dressing room, too.
Yeah, you were doing cocaine. Yeah, I heard about the cocaine and all that. And the funny thing was, I was sitting there all night with you. And,
if I had cocaine, I would not have been in the Destination 1 dressing room. I would not have been that hard up for money.
Because I know Jimmy pretty well. If he had cocaine, we all had cocaine. Okay? So, I mean, Jimmy shares his, or back then he did. He'd share his drugs.
Yeah, now I'm tight.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, this chick, it was a 2-on-1 handicap, and these chicks were so small. The other one, Trash Cassie, I have nothing against her, but this other chick, her name was Serenity. I'll never forget it. I'm 400 pounds.
She's good looking, though.
Yeah, she sucks good dick right here, too.
I would know.
Never mind.
How do you know?
I'm not going to incriminate anybody that personally, no. Ask Ian.
Okay. Hey, Ian. Does Serenity suck good dick? I know your wife won't mind because your girlfriend don't mind either. Or something like that. No offense, brother. I'll give it to you, man. You got your wife working at the show and your girlfriend working at the show.
Right.
And they're cool with it. So hey, if they're cool with it, I'm cool with it. That's up to you.
But every time I would hit this Serenity chick, she would pop up like she's Hulk Hogan and she's 90 pounds soaking wet. And anyway, I got mad at her and she starts cussing at me in the ring. And it was like, yeah, I smoked 2 joints and I drank a couple beers before the show, but was I as fucked up as everybody says I was? Absolutely not. Okay? And I was aiming for her back. I was going to give her a big hard club. But when she did, she raised her head up and it caused that to the back of her head. And the hush amongst the people was, and at this point, I said, I was supposed to have let them go over on me, which, whatever. At that point, I was waiting to get fired anyway. So I kick out of what was supposed to have been the finish. And they left the ring, and in the meanwhile, they've got guys in the dressing room.
Let me tell this part.
Okay.
He's out here doing this thing to this chick, and all the He-Men are in the back, you know. Oh, you all got to get out here and watch this. Jimmy's beating the fuck out of this girl, man. We can't let that happen. He's beating this girl up. Well, we're going to kill that motherfucker. We're going to beat that motherfucker's ass. Oh, let's go kill him. Well, not one of them made a move towards the ring during this whole ordeal, but they're all talking about how they're going to beat Jimmy's ass. It was amazing. When Jimmy comes through the back, he comes into the dressing room. Everybody's looking at him. Digger cuts off all the heat.
Yeah.
Okay. Digger jumps up on Jimmy like they're going to fight. Well, I've known Digger. Digger's my brother, right? Well, I'm watching this go down, and Digger's motherfuckering him, and he's giving him this to go bust his ass. Motherfucker, what's wrong with you? And dumbass here, because you got no Digger. He's a vile little bastard. This motherfucker would knock your mom's head off. Well, when Jimmy made a step towards him, not a aggressive step, but a step towards him to go like, hey, Digger. Well, when Digger didn't hit him in the mouth, I knew something was up. I mean, I knew this wasn't real. I know Digger. I mean, if Digger was really intent on beating his ass, when Jimmy moved towards him, Jimmy would have put him on his ass.
Yeah.
But all Digger did was take all the heat from the guys, channel it to Jimmy, and the guys didn't know what to do. But every wrestler in that locker room that talked all this shit, how they were going to beat Jimmy's ass, never got out of their chairs. It was amazing. I was like, well, I know one thing for sure. If all hell breaks loose, not one of these motherfuckers have got my back.
Well, who were some of the wrestlers in the locker room?
Christian Rose.
Oh, yeah, Christian. God, man, that was a long time ago. Come on now.
A lot of the Indianapolis crew.
Yeah.
Although I will say out of that Indianapolis crew, what was the black guy's name? Dreadlocks.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He was the only nice one out of the bunch. All the rest of them fuck him.
Yeah. But let me tell you this, Snoop. Not everybody in the locker room was saying anything. So so I don't want to make it a blanket statement. But there was a bunch of guys doing a lot of talking, and it was amazing. They were going to beat this dude's ass, and I'm thinking, wow, this could be exciting, you know, because I like to watch people get beat up, even if he is my buddy. And I wouldn't have to kill him.
Right.
But you know, it was fun. It was exciting. I'm trying to think who else was in the locker room. But the guys that we know, and there's a few of them, they just kind of sit back and were like, wow. You know, I mean, so it was a lot of guys who got caught up in the moment. I guess they wanted to bang this chick. And to make themselves look good and get over, they were going to be like her knights in shining armor. But, you know, to be a knight in shining armor, you have to step up. And all they did
can't polish turf.
Yeah, all they did was open their mouth and shit fell out of it. They never did anything. But that was a fun night too.
Yeah.
You got fired again. You get fired more than anybody ever
met.
And
I did cocaine in the dressing room.
Yeah.
I just, you know, we had.
I'm gonna tell you, at D1W, if you'd opened up cocaine in the dressing room, you had a riot. You'd have had more people's face on that table trying to blow your snow than the man in the moon. Sorry, but that's the way it was.
Go ahead, Josh. You got anything else?
Yeah, in the old days, man, first drugs and people wonder, hey, Father Fear, how you doing? Got gimmicks? Sorry, go ahead.
What's been some of the biggest disappointments in your career?
Well,
the business.
Yeah.
Where it is now. I mean, people misinterpret. Quit looking at your cell phone.
Okay.
These people can wait. The people, man, I don't even know how to put this without. I'll just put it in the way I know how. When people you like and think highly of, and you think of as your family, and you see them do shit that is completely retarded and makes them look completely foolish, they mistake your anger as hatred towards them, when in reality all you're doing is trying to get their attention and make them look in the mirror and see what they're doing.
Yeah.
Jimmy can tell you, and I don't mind telling you this, when I was talking about his problem he was having with his chemical romance, I pretty much told him. I mean, I didn't sugarcoat it.
Quit or die.
Yeah, quit or die, motherfucker, because I'm tired of watching it, you know. Jimmy was so fucked up that Jimmy didn't know where he was half the time, but I didn't sugarcoat things because I love the fat fuck, okay? But I have friends that are younger, and they mistake my passion for them to do the right thing as me attacking them. And really all I'm doing is trying to get them, like I said, to look in the mirror and understand that Your word means something. Integrity means something. You've got to have some pride. You know, you've got to have some self-esteem. If you really want to put yourself over with people in anywhere, I don't mean, and I'm not just talking about in a wrestling show or anywhere else.
When I was playing high school football, we had this big sign up in our weight room, and it said, "Take pride or get the fuck out." And you know, it's kind of something we all took to heart. And you know,
it upsets me, like Josh, if yeah, that's the guy who's in this interview, good shot for guy. I don't even know you that well, but if I saw you doing something and I thought in the long run was going to be detrimental to your life, your career, your family, or whatever, I'm going to bring it to your attention any way I know how. And the only way that I really know how is to be a rude fucker, okay? Because that's just how I am. But don't misinterpret me being rude for being hateful, because there's two different animals. And I know we got away from the deal, but when we started this thing, you said, how many questions should I ask? We warned you it doesn't matter because we'll ramble.
Right.
You know, me and Jimmy got thousands of miles together. You know, so I mean,
lots of shows.
Yeah, and it's like
some good ones, some bad ones.
Oh yes,
ones in between.
Yeah, some that there wasn't even there. You know, we were, but
so some of which I didn't even know I was at.
Yeah. Exactly. And don't ever go anywhere in a car with this son of a bitch and he'll say, "Oh, I got you covered, Father Fear. I'll stay up with you. I'll keep you awake." You get
George.
You get 3 miles out of town, this son of a bitch is slobbering on himself. Oh, let me tell you. You know, you ask about a good story. We were coming out of, I have no idea where. It doesn't even matter. You know, where we're coming from doesn't matter. He's gimmicked up. And for those, I guess everybody watching this probably knows what that means.
Yeah.
If they don't, he was fucked up. And his mom called. And he said, "Father Fair, I don't know if I want to answer this tonight. I'm all fucked up." And I'm thinking to myself, well, when aren't you fucked up? Because back then he was fucked up all the time, isn't he? You know.
Yeah.
Well, he answers the phone, and I'm driving down the road, and the conversation I'm hearing is, yeah. And I'm thinking, the fuck is he talking about? He gets off the phone and he says, "Father Fear, I don't know why I was worried, because I think Mom was more fucked up than I was." And I didn't really know him that well at that time, nor did I know what he meant. So I'm thinking, man, his mom must be some kind of alcoholic or something. I don't know. So I mean, I've got this vision of his mom being some 90-year-old chick in a wheelchair. I mean, I don't, you know, no offense to your mother, because I don't think, but I didn't know the lady. And I come to find out that, you know, she's just got some medical issues, some health issues, and I didn't know because he was too fucked up to explain it to me. Here I am thinking I got a high-fat fuck on the seat over here next to me talking to his high mama. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, the things I found out about this guy, they're amazing. I forget it. Anyway, I don't know whether you don't even remember what the question was.
Biggest disappointment.
What's that mean? Time out?
No.
What?
The beginning stages.
You work this like you do in the ring.
The beginnings, very slow. The beginning stages of pro wrestling.
Oh, I forgot about that chapter in our life. Pro Wrestling Freedom.
Josh, do you have that company wrote down there? Pro Wrestling Freedom? Okay.
I have,
well, hold on, Josh.
Okay.
Put that down there and circle it, because that's going to be...
yeah, boy. Yeah, that's going to be... It's
we'll get there, but...
If you don't quit rubbing my fucking leg, I'm going to slap you out of the chair.
Fuck you. All right, Josh.
Shows you had a crush on me.
All right, guys.
Can't keep his hands off of me.
Let's talk Facebook and Clyde.
Wow. Man, those were the good old days.
That was fun.
That's back when Clyde would get himself all cranked up. And he'd get on Facebook and he'd call you out. He'd call you a no-count motherfucker. I mean, he'd do personal attacks on you.
I didn't even know this guy at that time period. And I would see, and I was like, who the fuck is this Father Fear guy? And I said, because of course I knew Clyde and I knew the mentality there. And it was just like, wow, this is a train wreck.
Yeah, we were trying to do a little work on Facebook. Y'all know how that works. And he started in on me. Well, which is fine, you know, it's a business. Well, I turned around and started talking about something about him sitting in the kitchen next to his stove to stay warm in the wintertime. And the next thing I know, He said that I said basically his wife was a crack whore, they didn't have electricity in their house, and they had to heat their shit with the stove, and that I was going on some personal attack on him and his
You weren't
family.
too far off from the truth.
I was telling you, I know that, but you know, I didn't know. I just thought the motherfucker was some dude with two teeth. I didn't really know.
Did you ever hear the story about how they got out of their lease, their apartment over in Louisville?
You know, I did, but I don't. I do remember somebody talking about it, but go ahead, because Clyde is priceless. I mean, you
apparently,
could write a book on Clyde Richardson.
They were tied into some sort of lease there, and to get out of the lease and get out of there scot-free, he went into the plumbing deal and fucked up a bunch of pipings, and it became an environmental issue, and the landlord refused to do anything about it, so it broke their lease. And he left scot-free.
Okay, Clyde. Clyde, for those of you that don't know, at Wolfpack Championship Wrestling.
We've got...
Hey, stop. Stop that. Stop that.
Never mind.
Wow. The hell are you doing?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I was going to point to one of their posters on the wall.
Okay, yeah, I've actually got a poster over there of them on one of their original shows that somebody gave me as a rib.
A benefit for Bobo.
Wow. Bobo, I can tell you some things Clyde said about you. You just absolutely go retarded, but I won't. Wow. Yeah, he's a racist. We'll just put that out there, too.
Did you ever get that computer fact book?
Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh,
Clyde and Facebook.
Wolfpack. Clyde and Wolfpack. Clyde Brady.
Clyde Brady.
Clyde Richardson and Rick Brady. My son, Alistair Fear, started Wolfpack Championship Wrestling. I can tell you that there were drugs involved.
Lots.
I can tell you that it was the nastiest divorce you'd ever seen in your life. And I mean, these cats, literally, honest to God. And I think I mentioned this in an interview with you the first time, Josh, whenever that was. And I talked about people calling Child Protective Services and the mayor.
Yeah. Also, food stamp office.
The food stamp office. That's how low these people got trying to put each other out of business.
Now, I will say this about the old Wolfpack. When Wolfpack first started up, their first 4 or 5 shows,
they were good shows.
They were good shows and a good place to work. Yeah. But boy, once the new wore off there and everybody's problems came to the forefront, it was Katie bar the door.
Kind of like PWF.
Yeah. No shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. All wrestling companies are like that. Not all of them, because some of them start out like shit and never get any better because you can't.
I think I'd rather start out like shit and you know.
At least you can go up. Yeah. Yeah, but you know, never mind. But there's a couple companies out there that started out as shit. They're still shit. They'll always be shit. And because when you have people who are shit running the shows that are shit,
it's shit.
It's shit. Yeah. I mean, you have a roster where your payroll is, you have 12 or 14 people working for you, and your payroll is $10. Well, what the fuck do you think you're going to get?
Yeah. You're going to get sharp-dressed man and Alistair in the cage.
I was there.
An epic night.
Yeah.
I was not around there most time.
Sorry, you should have been. It was great. Ken, I love you, man. That was a great guy.
He is a great guy.
He is. Ken is one of the nicest people in the business, so don't think I'm picking on Ken. He knows who Ken is.
Right. Let's talk Facebook and Alistair.
He's still going to this day on there.
Alistair loves his Facebook wars. This motherfucker, I swear to God, he lives on Facebook. He loves to get Facebook heat. He's good at it. Me and him
great at it.
Yeah, me and him were running an angle one time, and I swear to God, his own children wanted to beat my fucking ass. True story. His family hated me. He had cousins, aunts, uncles telling me what a horrible fucking job I did of raising that piece of shit. And you know, Alistair was a piece of shit. I'll tell you, he's a piece of shit.
He knows he's a piece of shit.
Alistair's a piece of shit. He's my son, but you know, so what? I wasn't there. It don't matter. His mom was a whore fucker. You know, she's dead. Doesn't matter. But you know, it is what it is.
Did you take life insurance off with you?
Fuck no, man. Fucking. Let me tell you, that motherfucker threatened me with a shotgun. Said if I didn't leave, I was going to die. Dying is not an option.
Now, see their fear.
Yeah.
The wrestling heat does not compare to that kind of heat, does it?
No. That heat has some heat. That heat makes your butthole pucker.
Nothing says I love you quite like a double barrel.
You're right. And yeah, your butt puckers, your fucking heart goes about 6,000 beats a minute, and the only thing you're thinking is, how in the hell do I get out of this? But I'm still here. She's not. And for all I know, that old guy's dead probably too. And Alistair's probably the ugliest kid I ever had, and I got a bunch of them bastards. But he's ugly. He's the ugliest bastard kid I got.
Yeah. He's about 10 years too late for me. About a twilight.
Yeah, no shit. Wow. I love you, Alistair.
Who's the best and worst promoters?
The best promoter?
Yeah.
I haven't met him yet.
There's a lot in the middle.
I don't do nothing in the middle. That's your game.
No, like, I always enjoyed working for Matt Douglas. He always paid me.
I forgot Matt. Sorry.
Matt?
Matt's got it. Matt was retarded and had a lot of goofy shit. Boy, he was a snake in the grass. I told him that to his face. He knows it.
I don't trust him.
Oh, no, fuck no. I wouldn't trust him enough.
I trust him enough for me to show up at the building and get my pay.
I would work for Matt anytime.
Absolutely,
anywhere,
I will too.
I know I'm going to get a good payday, and he's a creative mind. And I really do think that Matt would never screw me over. But I know he screws some other people over, but that's cool. For me, as long as I get paid, he can screw anybody in here he wants over. It doesn't matter to
We
me.
can go Beach Boys concert together.
Yeah, he thinks Wilson, he thinks Brian Wilson and Jesus hang out on the same cross. I don't know. But yeah, but Matt Douglas actually, but even though, you see, we're liking Matt because of his booking.
Right.
More than promoting. So I don't know that Matt Douglas ever hung a flyer in the entire time we ever worked for him.
He sure had some made over the years.
Yeah, I know, because I got some hanging in my office, but that's the first place I ever main evented in a match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Versus Matt Douglas in a dress.
Yeah.
And me and Pondo.
Yeah.
Well, who's the worst promoter?
That's a toss-up, because that's about most of them I've ever worked for. But you can't confuse promoting with booking and owning. That's the problem with that question. Because when I started working for PWF and was lured in by the guy that said, "Money is no object, boys. We're going to take care of it. We're going to bring Vader in."
Okay.
I know, but I'm just telling me. Stop telling me when we're going to get somewhere. Okay. I'm trying to explain a point here.
Okay.
All right. If I wanted my mother here, I'd go dig her up. Okay. I don't need you correcting me.
Yeah.
Get over yourself.
I'm trying to. Fuck.
Okay.
All right.
Don't cry. We didn't answer the question yet, so let's not go to the next one.
Okay.
What was the question?
Who's the best and worst promoter?
Okay. Worst promoter, hands down. And I'm going to base this on what they had in their hand, what they had available to them, the talent, the building, and how they promoted their product. And that's what I'm going to base it on. I'm not going to base it on any personal feelings. But it would have to be Sam Cosby.
Absolutely.
Because he never one time promoted anything. And that's not a knock on him as a person. He just never promoted. He didn't believe in
the only thing
flyers
the only thing he promoted was selling a hamburger.
And he did a hell of a job at that. The man could cook. But my point being is, like I said, it's not a knock on him or his personality or any of his business practices. He just refused to promote his product. Rick Brady, when they first started Destination One, he
it was
tried.
A great concept.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah, he tried to, get. He's like everybody else, and you'll have to agree with this. These guys that want to be promoters, and when they first start up, they're gung ho. But then when they find out that, hey, I've actually got to get out here and sell this product, or people don't buy my tickets.
Right.
So it goes back to the old thing. Who do you want to satisfy? Internet marks or the people that live in the community that are going to buy tickets?
And pay $8 or $10.
Yeah, and every one of these promoters gets sucked into that internet mark bullshit. I don't care about internet marks. I don't care what a guy in New York thinks about a show. He's not going to buy a ticket anyway.
No.
But you can answer that anywhere you'd like to. I didn't mean to step on.
Well, I mean, I pretty well echo your statements on that.
As you should, because I'm usually right.
What do you got first, Josh?
All right, I got some names here.
Okay.
And I want your thoughts on these people.
Is this like a word association
Yeah.
thing or one word deal?
Yeah, one word.
Oh, fuck, this will be long. Josh, you throw that one word answer out, but let's roll.
All right, the first one is Rick Brady.
You want to cover that one first?
I'll do one word. Genius.
Well, mine was going to be crook.
They go hand in hand. There you go. Put it together, you got it right. See how this is going to work?
Yeah.
All right.
John Bullen.
Well, that's good. Yes, it's going to be a lot more.
No, I've got one word for him. Satan.
I don't know how I can follow that one.
Worker.
Yeah, worker, absolutely, all the way.
Yeah.
Sam Cosby.
Jew.
Manipulator.
And before anybody tries to take that out of context, with me saying he's a Jew,
Drop that word. Tight.
Tight. Exactly.
Matt Douglas.
Crazy.
Fun. Paid well.
Yes.
Always. Believed in family. And real quick, I mean, really, he did.
Mm-hmm.
When you worked for him, if you were part of his roster, we all hung out together.
Yeah.
You know, he'd take you out to dinner.
Had some of the best times I've ever had under that guy.
Yeah. Under him? You mean that literally?
Yeah, yeah.
I know you're about him. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eric.
Me.
Eric Draven.
Jeff Jarrett. That's 2 words, isn't it?
Yes, 2 words. He is what he is. I mean,
obviously.
He's gonna.
You're what you are.
I know. It's okay.
Quit rubbing my fucking leg.
It's okay. Quit. You got anybody else there on that list?
You're gonna hurry.
Yeah, I got a lot. Bobo Brazil Jr.
I can't even get one word for that one. But I will tell you this about the old man.
The ring belt.
I can tell some shit on that old guy too. Let me tell you. You know, we're going to deviate from this, but I mean, I'm going to answer that question with a story. Do you know who Sebastian Eros is?
Yes.
I get a phone call one day from this guy. He says, Father Fury, what do you got going on X date? I said, I don't know. So I looked at my thing, and I'm open. He says, well, I got a guarantee in Terre Haute, Indiana. I said, okay.
I have to wrestle a boxer.
Yeah, he's going to wrestle a boxer. I think
pro boxer.
Yeah, I'm going to manage him. He's going to work a pro boxer. And Sebastian Eros, who is one of Bobo's boys. I mean, he's just one of his I mean, Sebastian is absolutely loyal to this guy to death. Is that fair statement?
Absolutely.
And, you know, guaranteed payday is always cool. So we get in the car. There's 3 of us. We stop at Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'm feeling pretty good because I got a guaranteed payday, so I eat a little more, you know. And
you spent about $6 that day.
Yeah, I spent $6. You know, I was high rolling. And we're going to, and if any of you all have ever driven to Terre Haute, it's not exciting.
No.
To say that. And anyway, we get up there, and a nice looking building. I mean, we pull up, we walk in this building, we go down there, in the dressing room, and I know you've told this story before, it seems like I can hear you telling it, but they had like the little kindergarten chairs. Yeah. Well, that's what we had to sit on. And, yeah, and next thing you know, Bobo's coming back there. He does it best. Go ahead, tell him.
He had this maroon, like dark maroon suit on. Pinstripe. And he comes down there, and I can't do justice to the man's voice and how he talks, but he says, boys, I don't know how they're going to react to this. He called a meeting after the second match, but I knew we were in trouble when he called a meeting after the second match. He says, I don't know how people are going to react to this. He says, I don't know how people are going to react if we cancel the show. And I said, why would we cancel? He says, boys, my money man hasn't showed up. We've only got 40 people out there, or whatever it is. And he says, it's up to you boys, you know. We've hit hard times.
We were the only guaranteed pay.
Yeah. Now, the rest of these fucking goofs go up, Bobo, it's okay, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? They didn't spend 3 hours on the road to get there, okay?
Yeah, no shit.
And about this time, a little bit beforehand, this boxer gets there. And if this guy wouldn't have been so nice, the boxer, and talking about how his family was so excited, and his words were to you, go get some heat off my dad. Now, we didn't know what this meant at the time, but his dad was a paraplegic in a wheelchair. He couldn't talk, nothing. So you got no reaction out of this guy. And needless to say, we all got fucked on our pay. We all got in our car and fucking drove our ass back home. And, you know, that's the last time I worked for old Bobo there.
And it is safe to say, had Sebastian Eros not been there, we would have left. Because we stayed there for Sebastian because he felt like he was obligated to Bobo because, you know. And like you said, the boxer guy was pretty cool. God almighty, he was hit hard.
Yeah.
I can say I took a punch from a boxer and he got knocked Jesus out of my head.
This guy came in there, and I swear he looked like Rocky after Apollo Creed had gotten
him. Yeah, he lost the night before.
Yeah.
Okay, Mitch Ryder.
You can't keep up with Mitch. Because Mitch is like, what's going on, man? I mean, Mitch is fucking retarded. He's always been nice to me, but he's a little odd.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, wait a minute. He hasn't always been nice to me. He got nice to us in Evansville that time. He was booking up there. And
I don't know how quite we got booked besides Alistair.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird deal. And then the last time we worked for him was in that great town of Corydon.
Oh, great.
Remember that? What was the Blockbuster show? That was the Blockbuster show.
Yeah. They had 8 people at Belltime, and they decided to cancel the show. And here he is talking about, boys, I just went to Radio Shack and bought this PA for $100 and some. And I'm thinking, boy, if you're depending on a PA for a fucking wrestling show from Radio Shack, you're fucked. And he says, I might have to go over there and see if I can get my money back on this. Now, so him or someone, he sends someone to Radio Shack, so we're sitting there waiting to get our payday, and Wolfie D is there.
Great stuff.
And
wow. He
comes back about a half hour later, which is Radio Shack's about a half mile down the road, maybe something like that. And he comes back, he says, Radio Shack was closed, boys. And it was like 8 o'clock at night, so in a little small town like that, you know they're going to be closed. And he says, I'm going to do everything I can. And, you know, he comes off a little bit of money, and Troop House get the fuck out of there. But Wolfie D, however, did not get his full money and follows Mitch Ryder back to his house. And from the story I'm understanding, he got his money somehow, but he had to follow Mitch back to his house.
And the best spot of the night, though, was when Mitch was trying to kind of slide out. And Wolfie was like, I'm not taking my eyes off of him. And he reached out and grabbed Mitch by the back of the shirt and said, you ain't going to get away from me. And it was great, yeah.
And I'll never forget mine and Wolfie's reaction when I almost called him Jamie Dundee.
That'd be probably good.
When Mitch Ryder says, oh, boys, I'd never fuck anybody over.
He is shit. Ain't nobody in his business gonna fuck you over.
Yeah.
That me, I'll fuck you over if you let me walk.
Alistair Fair.
I'm proud of Alistair. Alistair is, he's got, you know, he won't admit it, and he'll probably kill me for saying this, but Alistair's got some medical issues. He's pretty well beat up. And he started his life kind of over, wouldn't you say? And he's running down there in Evansville. He took over a turd. I mean, wow. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
When he took over down there at CCW, it was a turd.
Shit.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Shit.
I mean, we had worked down there right before Alistair took over for Mitch Ryder.
Yeah, and
wow.
Ironically, we were working for the competition up there for the longest time.
Yeah.
And
now that we were working for the competition, and now the competition is working there, and Alistair's doing really good, man. He's tripled the crowd, and he's booking. Well, yeah, there's lots of good talent up there now.
Right.
Well, it's a shameless plug, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But Alistair's a good guy. You know, obviously he's lived with me, and I truly, he's one of the few people that I trust. As long as he stays off the gimmick.
Alistair and me have done a lot together.
They have.
We've bled, done any type of gimmick match you can think of, just about. He is in a big way responsible for making me in that Coliseum too. You know, I would not be able to go there and perform today and get the reaction that I do without him. That pretty well sums up how I feel about Alistair. You know.
What about Jordan Cage?
You go first, because he's your You have a man crush on him.
I thought he was a dick when I was around him in the beginning. Me and Jordan trained together for a while, and then he moved to Florida.
Smart really.
Yeah, and then he came back, and I was like, boy, this guy's a fucking prick, and blah, blah, blah. And the Pro Wrestling Freedom thing started up, and, you know, I've never took this away from him. He's always been one of the best workers out there that nobody would give credit to. But I was really hesitant to hire him at first. And I called around to 4 or 5 different people. I trust their opinion. And they said, look, give this guy a chance. Give him a chance. And I gave him a chance. It was the best move I ever made. And turns out me and him have more in common that I ever knew about.
You better clarify that.
Yeah, let me clarify that. And nothing drug.
Thank you, Jordan. You're welcome. I took care of everybody.
Nothing drug related.
Or sex related.
Or sex related. But as far as passion for the business, he's very blunt, like just like me. And this old fuck here. But as far as today is concerned, he in this area, I will say this. He is, in my opinion, as far as the in-ring work, is the best in this area. When he says best in the state, nothing could be further from the truth.
You done putting it over.
Damn, you just want to hijack my deal?
No, go ahead. You were doing so good.
But and promotions that won't give him a shot, and you know, or don't really know who he is. I mean, why he's not working every Saturday somewhere is beyond me. It's because of cheap fucking tight promoters. He doesn't charge an arm and a leg for what you get. You can tell him to go out there for 20, 30 minutes every night, and you know you're going to get a performance, and it's going to be good. So, you know, I just...
Good. Sorry.
Like, he had a match against Jason Kincaid down in Williamsburg, and I thought I was a little retarded at first because I booked it to be an hour, and I questioned myself, but once the finished product came out, I don't think there's been a match to top that anywhere.
I'll tell you, after I woke up, it was pretty cool. Just kidding. See, I have a hard time answering that because work-wise, me and Jordan are nowhere near the same animal.
So same here.
So I'm like you when I first met him. And I told him this. It hasn't been a week ago. I said, "Man, when I first met you, I thought you were the biggest dick in the world." And I said, then I realized you're about as big a dick as I am.
Yeah.
So we must have something in common. And after I listened to him talk and realized that him being a dick is nothing more than him being passionate. Just like another guy I know who we don't see eyeball to eyeball on a lot of things is Isaiah, who we might be talking about later. I don't have any idea. But Isaiah is the same way. A lot of promoters think he's a dick.
Right.
You know, but people quit getting passionate and confused with being a dick. I mean, because, you know, if you're passionate about what you do, you're going to stand up, you're going to be vocal. But Jordan is a good guy. I mean, yeah, I'll leave it at that because, you know, we can't me and Jordan are always on the opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to being in the show. So,
right.
You know, I got to keep my hate for him somewhere. So, but yeah, he's a great worker. He's good at what he does. I just wish he quit looking like Bret Hart. No, he looks like Bret Hart. He wears that fucking pink shit. He looks like Bret Hart.
Okay.
I'm waiting for him to take his glasses off, start putting them on little kids, and then I'm going to slap him right in the fucking mouth.
Like Dustin Ray's.
Well, I'll take that one. For almost a year, I got to manage Dustin Ray, which means...
Not over with yet. Yeah.
No, I'm not dead yet. Neither is he. So, you know, but anyway, I can only comment on what has happened, not what's going to happen. So, when you work with somebody that long, naturally you get to spend time with them, you know, and talking to Dustin is interesting because I'll let some people know something about Dustin. He is intelligent. I mean, this man is like, he is connected to what's going on in the world today, and he can talk to you about anything. his work in the ring is incredible. I've been lucky enough to stand at ringside with him and watch him show after show with the best talent at PWF. And holy shit, I mean, he's like Jordan. I mean, those are guys that when they get in the ring, you know it's going to be good. It does. Dustin is one of these guys that can work a bar stool. Is that your phone or mine? Yours?
Carry off.
Was your phone?
Yeah.
Carry off was phone. I've heard of him. Alan. Yeah, I know him. Bow wow wow yippee yo yippee yo. You're not so talented, did you, for an old man?
Yeah, I know.
You want to speak on Dustin Rhodes, Jimmy?
Excuse me real quick. Is it going to take you long to answer this question?
No.
Because I'm kind of old, my bladder, I have prostate shit and I got to piss. So y'all just keep on going. I'll be back.
Well, hold on now.
I got to pee, dude.
You may hold it?
No, it's good. It's good.
No. What I was saying about Dustin Rhodes is, at first I really didn't know who he was, and I read up a little bit about him, and, well, he was sitting here, but I was curious when Pro Wrestling Freedom was starting up, he says, there's one guy you definitely got to look at getting, Dustin Rhodes, and I'm like, okay, and he says, man, really, 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 really good, you really need to take a look at getting him, he would be a great asset, blah, 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 and I took a look at his work, and, I talked to him on the phone, and I booked him, and top level performer, hands down. Should have a contract, like Jordan, should have a contract soon. Matter of fact, him and Jordan actually wrestled one another on a TNA house show. I got live down in Portland with him, and it was really sad because they gave him 5 minutes, and they were the open match, or I should say pre-match, or whatever they call it, and they promoted them as this was a gut check, that these were young wrestlers right out of wrestling school, Ferguson from Feltcher. And honestly, on the card that night, no one could follow that brief 5 minutes, and very simple 5 minutes they did. So that's pretty well my opinion about Dustin. He's a stand-up guy. If he tells you he's going to do something, he's going to be there. If he tells you, hey, I can't be there, that's straight up too,
Okay, what about the Hood Ninja, Isaiah?
You go first.
You go first.
Well, I don't know when we're going to release this thing, but at the shows and things like that, there's an electricity between me and Isaiah that's pretty retarded, and he knows what I'm talking about. When it comes to talking to Isaiah, could you hold still? You're making me nervous. When it comes to talking to Isaiah about business outside of the ring or life outside of the ring, it's kind of a cosmic deal as well. He is a guy that absolutely gives 110% every time he goes out. Like I said earlier, his passion gets mistaken for being an asshole or a dick. But I'm here to tell you right now, if he was at a wrestling show and Jesus Christ was in the show and he didn't put on a good performance in the ring with him, he would not hesitate. Yeah, he would not hesitate to pull Jesus aside and tell him, dude, you suck at this business. Go find something else to do, art to see or whatever it is you do, but get out of the wrestling business. And anybody who doesn't know Isaiah,
he's a quality person.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a good guy. Just like I said before, he's like Hulk Hogan. I don't get it. People like him. I don't know why. But meaner than I am. It's sickening. I've said it before.
Great worker.
You ever had a heart attack?
Yeah.
They got gas from having a heart attack.
Yeah, he's fine.
I always wanted to die on film.
A great worker.
Oh, chili.
Brings it every night.
Positively.
You're going to get his best, whatever he's got, and he expects that out of his opponents. So, I mean, anybody that books him, that puts him against anybody who's not going to bring their best, that is an absolute mistake, and he will let people know about it.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, and just, he's loyal to the people he's loyal to. He's absolutely loyal, And
But if you fuck him, he will fuck you.
Yeah.
Positively. I mean that. You know what I mean.
But yeah, great guy.
Madman Pondo.
Ah, he's a legend. You know, the man's been around the world basically. He's done it all. During the days of old, I guess is the way to say it. I mean, I've had Thanksgiving dinner with Pondo and the bouncing turkey. I've had Pondo's been, at my house for Christmas. And, I mean, I remember when Pondo first met his significant other, and Pondo's happy, I guess. And he's all right with me. I mean, we're not as close as we used to be, but I think a lot of that has to do with the stress of the business. It has to do with things I've addressed before, where people try to keep people apart, and they will bait you and take your words and twist them and yeah, that's him too. And I have no problem with Pondo. Like I said, he's a legend in the business, and if anybody who can't give him that and respect him for that, then they don't need to be in the business. So, that's really all I can say. And I would hope that he would have something nice to say about me. Pondo, I'm a nice guy. My beard's pretty.
I mean, with Pondo, he helped me out tremendously when I first got around him. And much like...
You needed it.
Right. Much like Father Fear said, business will take you apart naturally, especially if you're all working on the opposite spectrums of business. And that basically is what happened with me and him. Hopefully we can repair that and move forward, because down deep I really do respect the guy and what he has done and continues to do.
Necro Butcher.
What a great guy. Yeah. Let me tell you a little Necro story. I don't think I've told anybody this story, have I? Anybody else? Huh?
The steps.
Oh, yeah, that night. Yeah.
We're going to talk about the airplane.
No, the airplane story. Only he could tell that story. But we were in Charlestown, and I was given the lovely job of managing Necro. And
who makes Necro like you? Really?
Yeah, I didn't. I just worked there. Right. I thought, how cool is this? I get to work with Necro, and I'll make him look good, because that's the kind of guy I am. And yeah, dying. Would you put the phone away, dude? Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'll admit to you, if you've never stood next to Necro, he looks like he would eat your grandmother with a fork while she was alive. I mean, he's a pretty imposing guy, and he says, Father Fear, I want you in the match, and I'm going to want those steps, the ring steps. Well, the first thing that went through my mind was, can I even pick these bastards up? That's a whole lot of wood, And I'm not
used to handle a lot of wood.
Yeah, I'm not a very big guy. Fuck you. But anyway, my wood is more like twigs.
Let's go ahead and let you have a little cock on the air.
I do. It just means I don't hurt their throats. But ain't no shame in my game. It is what it is. That's why I got a tongue. But I'd rather eat pussy than fuck it anyway. And you wouldn't know anything about pussy if it landed on you. I know whose pussy you've eaten, so let's just worry about that later. Good thing this is a family show. Anyway, I don't forget what I was talking. Oh, the steps. Yeah.
The steps.
So I'm thinking, okay, cool. I said, but I didn't want to blow the spots. I said, Necro, you gotta let me know when you eat these steps. And he says, and I quote, of course I can't imitate him, but I'll give it my best shot. Father Fear, I can assure you, when it is time for me to have those steps, I will let you know, and there will be no doubt. So, thinking, cool, I'm looking for a little, when the match starts, he's going to say, hey man, give me this. No, who was he working? I don't even remember who he was wrestling that night. But anyway, I'm standing, on the side of the ring, and I'm like, here I am looking at this big, gorilla, and he's got the guy down. He throws him on the mat, literally. I mean, just like a rag. He stops what he's doing. He walks over to me. He leans over the rope, and he's sweating and he's breathing all heavy, and he says, Father Fear, I will take those stairs now. Then nothing else mattered. I go to pick up the steps. I get him about 8 inches off the floor, and I'm thinking, I am fucked. He reaches over the ring. Now, he's standing in the ring. He reaches over the top rope, grabs the steps out of my hand, and just picked them up like he was picking up a damn beach towel. And I knew right then and there, boy, he's going to just rib my ass. But he picks the guy up, suplexes him. The boy halfway lands on the steps and halfway doesn't. And I thought he just killed that poor guy. When it was over, you know, I don't know. I think he won. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But after the match, he walked down to me and he said, "Father Fear, you covered that spot very well." And I'm thinking to myself, how can the fuck can you miss it? And then somebody told me if I buy him a 30-pack of Pass Through and I'll be his friend for life, so I bought him a 30-pack.
Yeah, that's what we enjoy quite tremendously.
Yeah, he didn't get all 30.
No.
But he liked the idea.
His usual setting of beer is 26 beers, he'll tell you. Yeah.
I'm surprised he doesn't eat the canes. Have you ever been next to Necro Butcher?
No, I've never met him.
Well, do some research, because he's... Where are you going?
Nowhere.
Oh.
Alright, the last guy on here is Menace.
Wow. He's like a human windmill kicking machine. I don't know what you call him. He's just non-stop brutality.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
One of my favorite guys to watch wrestle.
You know, talking to him, you never believe when he gets in that ring, he's going to be what he is. When you talk to him outside the ring, if that makes any sense to anybody, I don't know. But wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, when you listen to him talk about what he's going to do in the ring, and you're going, no, you're not. You can't do all that.
He's been in the business since 1993, and we'll be glad to tell you that. And can go out there and still do all the stuff the young kids do, and outperform them every night of the week.
Yeah, it's great because when he works the younger guys, this is no shit. Show and I forget what city we were in, but he worked Isaiah.
Yes.
And Isaiah's in good shape. You know, this is not a knock on Isaiah, but when they come down, man, Isaiah's like, this dude's not even sweating. And Isaiah's like, Jesus, you know.
15-minute Broadway.
Yeah, I'm blowed up here, and this guy's not even sweating. I mean, the man is in good shape, and he is. And based on what I've seen, he's snug. If that's the word I use.
And yet another guy that when he tells you something, write it down. It's good as gold.
Don't try this at home, boys and girls.
Alright. Let's talk about Vader.
This is going to be two different sides of this story. You go ahead. Let me tell mine first.
Yeah, because mine's going to be a little bit.
Yeah, because mine's real easy. I have watched Vader at the PWF. What would you call that? The kickoff show. Yeah, the first show.
Making a Statement was the name of the show.
Yeah, I don't remember names because I'm terrible at that. But I had heard that the man was a little less than cooperative, but and I watched him kind of disregard some people in the locker room. But I can honestly tell you, he kind of gave me one of the goofy looks, and I gave him one of my goofy looks, and he shook my hand, and we had no beef. But I think it's because I didn't drop to my knees and lick his ball sack. Because to me, he was nothing more than somebody. Because here's my view of this, and it's a little different than Jimmy's and a lot of these other guys. If you work for the WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, whoever, I don't care who you work for, and you don't work there anymore, why don't you work there anymore? Because you were fired. Okay. So, my thing is, I respect the guy for where he got to, but he's not there anymore. He's in the same locker room, the same shithole town I'm in, okay? Big fucking deal. Okay? You walk around this mastodon head bullshit that and I'm not knocking what he has done, okay?
What he's currently doing.
Yeah, what are you doing now? It doesn't matter. So I shook his hand and said, how you doing? He said, how you doing back? I never had any heat with him. But when I found out afterwards and during the show, the scam that he tried to pull off on this guy and some other people, he should have went to jail, and I'll let him expand on that.
Let me preface this with, I did not do the booking of Big Van Vader. That was all handled to John Moore. Literally, the first time I talked to this guy was when he stepped foot off the plane. And I should have knew something was up when I heard, oh, Vader, he's a man of God. And anybody in this business who says truth. I said, oh, he's a man of God.
You're gonna get fucked.
You're gonna get fucked. And he steps off the plane. I had to go pick him up, which this is a great story. He gets in my car. He gets in the front seat.
The car went, oh, fuck.
Well, yeah, literally. He gets in the front seat, and we're driving down the road from Louisville back to Corbin. And he looks at me and he says, I have not met this dude, and all I know of this dude is what I saw on television over the years. He says, boy, I bet your shit's backed up. And I said, do what? He says, I bet you don't shit right.
That's a hell of a greeting there. I always remember that one.
And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, I know you're a bigger guy. And he says, how old are you? I said, 27, 28, however it was at the time. He says, you just don't shit right, Jimmy. He says, I've got something. And this is where the con man turned on. And I should have, and I knew something was up at this point. He says, you need to get some greens in your diet. And he said, you need to get this blender to do this. And it turns out this blender, he owns stock in this certain blender. It was like a health blender. And then he says, I bet you snore quite bad, don't you? He proceeds to pull this mouthpiece out of his bag and tell me all about it. Give me the information. Turns out he owns stock in that too. So we get him to find, back up here. We stopped at Cracker Barrel. Where we were on our way. He was bitching because it was a 3-hour car trip. It seemed like a fucking 10-hour car trip because he wasn't. And I've got the Mark promoter back there just sucking his ass.
Mm.
And
I bet he wasn't stopped up.
yeah. And we stopped at this Cracker Barrel. And the man orders not just a side salad, but one of the full dinner salads. Eats that. He orders a regular country meal, and he says, I want the biggest thing of greens you can get. Now, usually they're like that and just not very big. Well, I'll never forget, they brought him out like a big, huge bowl of greens. He puts that away. Then he puts it like 2 country fried steaks away, and like mashed potatoes and like green beans, and keeps going. The bill was like $50, and the Mark promoter fucking paid for it. That's what got me. And Vader says, "Oh, I've got this." So to give you an indication of how he was treated, we get into his hotel, and we set him up in a room that wasn't a bad room by any means. I mean, it wasn't like a big name chain hotel. He gets in the bed and sits down. He says, I can't do this. Because the bed was literally folding in fucking half.
Well, when you weigh 1,200 pounds, the bed's going to fold. Go ahead.
He gets so pissed off, and it smelled like cigarette smoke because it was, it was like a little fucking party hotel. And we have to proceed to drive him up the hill. Now, keep in mind, we have ate the cost of this hotel, $40 or $50. And what the fuck is the name of that place? I want to say it was a Sleep Inn or something like that. It was a high dollar motel.
High dollar? Called the Sleep Inn?
No.
Where the fuck are you from?
No.
I tell you don't get out much.
Anyway, it was a high dollar. No, it was a Hampton. It was Hampton.
Oh, high dollar. That's a $50 night.
Well, in Corbin, obviously, there's no competition. So
there's nothing high dollar in Corbin. The whores are cheap in Corbin.
We go to this hotel, and the promoter is basically forced over a barrel here, and basically spends out like $300 extra so this fat fuck will have a place to lay his head.
This cost him not be a bad fuck.
I did. And we had advertised a training seminar the following day at 1 o'clock.
Did you go?
For $50. I was there, however, I did not.
Train?
No, I did not.
You needed to.
For an hour and a half of which all he did was show a DVD and talk about how great he was. Okay? And how
like me.
And how he had been screwed out of all these opportunities.
Yeah, I can relate.
Well, anyway, he gets the kids in the ring, and he shows them how to run the ropes properly and how to throw a clothesline. That's it. For $50. That's what the kids got.
Wish my buddy Psycho would have taken that.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry.
But after that, all the guys said, well, "This is fucking horse shit." Which I said, "Look, guys," I said, "I know it was. We did. I mean, we talked to him. It was going to be a 2-hour-long deal, and it was really going to be intense and all this, and really it wasn't." And he goes back to the hotel, showers up for the show. Well, his shit wasn't ready as far as his merch table and his autograph table. He gets so fucking pissed and starts yelling at me, "I've got a match." And he's like, "Delegate, delegate." And in Kentucky, we have to have these sign-in sheets where the workers sign in. And I'll never forget, I had the clipboard in my hand, and he knocks the son of a bitch out of my hand. At that point...
You should have beat the fuck out of it.
Well, at that point, he proceeds to tell me, if I don't get an additional $500, I'm not doing this show. And at this point, Digger sees him.
Oh, Digger. Mr. Volatility.
And Digger has locked eyes with him. And I gave...
Spitting. Dude, come on. Now get some class about yourself.
And...
Next thing you'll be eating a Twinkie.
Fuck you. At that point, I go to the promoter and tell him what's up, and the athletic commissioner was there. And Pondo also was in on this, because Pondo had to work him that evening. Wrestle, excuse me. And the outcome of this was basically this guy's trying to commit fraud. Now, however, in my own personal opinion, I think John Board, in order to save what he had advertised, paid him the $500. I can't say that for sure, but I think he paid him the $500 extra. And then after that, I was done. He went out there and had a 5-minute shithole match. Terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Gypped the fucking people and took all the promoter's money.
And tried to make Pondo look bad too, which I didn't appreciate either. He didn't do anything but insult Pondo.
Yeah, I mean, he might as well lay down and let, Pondo might as well lay down and let him piss on all of it. I mean, that's basically what he did. And after that, I told the promoter of the show, I said, "I'm not taking this piece of shit back to the airport anymore." I said, "You can find somebody else." And we found some mark to take him back to the airport. And, ever since then, I just wanted to forget fucking Big Van Vader because he was a $3,000 mistake.
There are a lot of people named Mark in this business.
Yeah.
Thought about that.
Well, if you're interested in March, he's going to be at the Lexington Comic Con.
What year?
It's coming up here, 2014.
I might have to go get an autograph. Yeah. Go get a photo.
Hey, wait a minute. Let's talk about. Wait a minute. Since we got the camera rolling, you know that in Father Pierce's office there are all these pictures of pretty famous folks, and you got my Vader signed picture.
I've got a bunch of them because I stole them out of his fucking bag, you fucking prick.
Yeah. Well, would you please give me mine? You could quit taking my space. I like being in front of the camera, folks.
Okay.
This has got to be the most interesting interview you've ever done.
Hold on. And then
You're rude.
His helmet, right? His helmet apparatus he wears. Well, I dropped it and I chipped the motherfucker.
Now, didn't Pondo like put his dick in it or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to piss in the motherfucker.
Yeah. Pondo was like, Pondo put it on, didn't he? And was running around with some guy shouting at Pondo. Pondo was going to get the motherfucker one way or the other. I was like, yeah, good stuff. Yeah. Hear that, Vader? I know you'll see this because you stalk me because you want to be me.
Who's the man?
Yeah. You want to be me. You want to be as relevant as I am. It's never going to happen. You had your day. But you'd be a lot more effective now than you were then because now they have them widescreen TVs and your fat fucking head would fit on it. Sorry. It's gone like I see it.
Are we done with Vader? Is that it?
And he might come back later. Who knows?
I might go to the Lexington Toy and Comic Convention just to see him.
I hear you.
I might say, "Hey, Leon, do you want to go,
let's go to Cracker Barrel.
Let's go to Cracker Barrel.
That's a big bowl of greens. And put your Mastodon hat on. Let's go run around town with your big fat head. Yeah. Hey,
Got to be easy with that oil on them greens, or the vinegar.
It'll slide out, won't it?
Yeah.
I wonder if he ever shits himself while he's working.
I would hope so. Oh, God, I know he
Did y'all see Yokozuna shit himself once with Bret Hart?
Yeah.
No, but I do have a funny shitting story about Vader. He had walked to the bathroom. I had to go piss.
Oh, this is great. Two locker rooms. Yeah.
No. This isn't a locker room. This was not a story from the dressing room.
Oh, well, let me tell you the dressing room story when you're done. We're not done with Vader. Yeah.
This is a Cracker Barrel story, and I'm sitting there. I'm taking a leak, and I hear, and I cannot do his voice justice. I hear, and then I'm thinking, okay, I think that's him in there, and I hear. He starts singing the Old Rugged Cross, and he has a beautiful fucking singing voice. And if you can just imagine,
shit singing Old Rugged Cross, that's a visual right there. That does something to your senses.
And I start laughing, and he says, "Jimmy, is that you over there?" I said, "Yeah, Leon, that's me." He says, and I'll never forget this, "Brother, do you want to hold hands and pray before the meal?" And I'm thinking, yeah, you're just going to wipe your ass, and I'm just going to hold you. I hope you wash.
He probably wanted to lick his fingers.
But, yeah, singing old Rugged Cross while I'm the shitter.
Now, let me tell you another shitting story, because he's a shitter. We were in Corbin, right? Them towns in Kentucky fucked me up. And that's the show he was on, and they have two dressing rooms, and they're small. And if you can visualize two square rooms, and in the back corner are
small shitters.
Yeah, well, he was over in this dressing room over here getting dressed, doing his deal, and which is cool because he's a prima donna. But we're over here sitting in this locker room. We look up, and here he comes. He walks right between us, goes back in there, and gets on our shitter. Not only does he shit, the ceiling starts sagging. This motherfucker smelled so bad.
It's all in green.
Yeah, he's grunting and groaning and wiping his ass. Stinks up our whole fucking locker room. And I forget who it was. Was it Pondo? Pondo, he don't care what he says. I can't remember what the deal was. Anyway, as he's in there taking a shit, we're all like, who's this motherfucker think he is? Come over here and shit in our shit. Motherfucker got his own shitter. But anyway, he gets up and he walks out, leaves our locker room, stunk the whole fucking thing up. We had to get out of the locker room. He stunk up the whole fucking room. And the uncouth bastard went and sat back in his locker room when he was done.
Yeah, what a piece of shit.
Yeah, I was like, wow, really? So knowing what I know now, if I'm ever on a show with Vader, I'm going to go shit next to him.
Yeah. I'm going to wait about a week and drop the biggest
I'm going to hold on
load
to it.
I can.
Eat me some sardines. And enchiladas.
Let's talk about Jeffy Dillon.
Oh. Let me have that before it starts.
Yeah.
Jeffy is a dear friend of mine. And I like to think of him as a very good friend. And if y'all don't know who Jeffy Dillon is, he's probably the cutest man on the planet.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, a buddy of mine outside this business saw him get out of a car one time. They had stopped to pick us up to go to the show. And the next day, he says, "Who was that hot chick y'all had with you?" And I kept my cool. I said, I'll let you meet that hot chick. Anyway, Jeffy is a real cute guy. I don't know why not to put this. He's a very feminine guy, and he's very homosexual. That's the proper way to put that. He's just very feminine. And he wanted to get into business, and he wanted to be I guess you would call him a valet. He's sure. And it was cool because we were doing some small shows with him, and we kind of broke him into business, actually.
Right.
Actually, Matt Douglas did. And it was fun because he would come to my house, and he'd stay with us for a while. And after every show, he would say, "Father Fear, you will not believe who the people in this locker room that want my phone number and want to hook up." And Jeffy's been in the business around the business his whole life.
Right.
And when he started naming to me the people that were interested in having an evening with him, I finally asked him to please stop telling me because I was having a hard time looking at some of these he-men son of a bitches that I know wanted to lay around with little Jeffy Dillon. And I'm not going to give any names simply because...
It's quite impressive, though.
Yeah, but it's a very impressive list. And I'm not going to give any names because it's really not necessary, and I think that's kind of going above and beyond the duty there. But just to let you know No offense, because if this doesn't pertain to you, then you don't need to worry about it. But there's a whole lot of men in the independent wrestling scene in Southern Indiana, Louisville area, that apparently like boys that have feminine qualities. And like I said, if Jeffy ever wants to let that be known, that's up to him. But yeah, it was Jeffy's retarded. And remember, he's in Carmine. We don't want that fag. I mean, that's, the Marks are all calling him a fag. And yeah, I mean, they are treating him like an ass. I mean, I was kind of concerned for him, but he was warned.
Right.
And I was kind of concerned that it would really get ugly outside of the show. Fuck. But before we got home, he had friend requests from the same people who were in that crowd calling him a no-good dick-sucking faggot, wanting his phone number.
Yeah.
So, people, I'm telling you, it's amazing shit. When all that comes to light, I knew then that I was in the wrong business. It doesn't matter, because I'm not a homophobe. I can give a shit. Jeffy Dillon lived here. He was my houseboy. So... yeah, go ahead, people, read into that if you want, because I don't give a fuck. But that's how they are. I mean, I'm a queer because I hang out with Jimmy too. I've been called queer. I've been called everything. Queer, Satanist, Charles Manson, you name it, I've been called it. I don't care. What's that saying? A nut's a nut.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel like nuts, sometimes you don't.
Exactly.
Almond Joy's got nuts.
What
Chicks don't.
What would you do for a Klondike for?
I don't know. I'm kind of hungry now. Do y'all provide like a snack tray for this or anything?
Like a school meal, like pizza?
Holy fuck. Can we get like any kind of liquid refreshment?
You got coffee?
We've been sitting here talking for an hour and a half. I'm getting a little thirsty. Could I get your assistant to get me some coffee? Now, don't snap your fingers. That's disrespectful. You do it like this. Excuse me, ma'am. Could you please get me something?
Or excuse me, ma'am. Could you please get me a mountain?
Thank you very much.
Gracias.
Hola. Burrito. Taco Bell.
Let's, y'all want to talk about the lack of direction for the young people in the business today?
If you'd asked that question any less enthusiastically, that's all right. I like you. You're all right. I can't believe it. I think I could do this all night.
I can too.
Man, I mean, so, if y'all want to take a break after we ask this one, and, because really my throat's getting dry, because, I talk.
I can help that.
Get the fuck off. I talk for a living, so therefore my pipes.
No,
You give the wrestling aspect.
Okay, as far as the wrestling aspect, the lack of direction with the young people in this wrestling business is they think because they can do 40,000 high spots that makes them a worker, but they can't throw a punch for shit.
I know a few of those.
Right. They don't even know a premise of a basic match. And like me and him were talking a few nights ago, I went back and watched a match with Junkyard Dog and Ted DiBiase from Mid-South Wrestling. Okay? And all this match was Ted DiBiase getting on the microphone, getting heat off Junkyard Dog. Dog comes to the ring. Ted DiBiase attacks him. Dog starts making his comeback. And then he's got DiBiase rocking. He pulls out the chain. Bam! 1, 2, 3. He fucks him over. And DiBiase's having to walk back this little aisleway. And fucking people are throwing shit at him. And fucking taking swings. And the basic moves of this match: punch, kick, choke,
Chain. Not chain wrestling.
No.
And is that when he turned on JYD, or was this?
I really don't know, but I'm just talking about the basic in ring.
Right.
And thank you so much. That's much appreciated.
Thank you. Wow, it's like really hot. Wow. Go ahead.
But the basic premise of this match, I don't know how we got from that to what we have today. I mean, I understand how we got there, but the sad thing is, a lot of these guys that do all that stuff could not do that match.
My turn.
Yeah.
This is my specialty. I'm thinking about taking this on the road. It's called Father Fear's Integrity Course.
How to be a man.
Yeah. When you tell a motherfucker you're going to do something, you do it. If you're my friend, I stand by you. You don't stab me. Okay? When you come to me for advice and I give it to you and you turn right around and do just the opposite of what I told you, or if you ask me for my advice and I give it to you and you get confrontational about it, if you ask me my advice and I give it to you and you look at me like I'm full of fucking shit, well then what you need to do is turn your ass around and look in the mirror and ask yourself for your advice. Because when you waste anybody's time for their opinion or their advice and you piss on it when you give it to them, you're a fucking idiot. Okay? People, young people today, no one owes you fucking anything. Nobody. You want my respect? Give it. When you walk into the wrestling show and you don't shake my hand, fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay? When you come up to me and ask me, hey, can I do this in the ring? You stupid motherfucker, that's what the booker's for. I'm not a booker, go talk to the booker. Okay? When you show up at a show and you go sit in a corner and you don't talk to anybody, you act like that, you're somebody. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care if you're Jimmy Feltcher. I don't care. Madman Pondo's been in this business longer than most people have ever. If Madman Pondo walks in the locker room, if I'm sitting down, he'll come shake my hand. If I'm not sitting down, I'll go shake his hand. But we always follow the rules of the business. Okay? When you, money, let's talk money. When you whore yourself out and will throw your friends under a bus for $10, then to me you're not much more than a step above a whore.
There's a lot of evolution there.
A lot of evolution. Now, I'll give you an example. And if I'm lying, you tell me. Because I know this is how I am. If someone calls James up and says, James, I've got a booking, the first thing he says, do you need any more help?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's going to take some of his brothers, and I'll use that term because he does have some brothers. Okay? And he'll say, I want to get my brothers some work. Alright? So we all go. These motherfucking kids now, they don't give a fuck about money. Hey, it just kills me. Y'all wonder why the shit goes to hell. A guy runs a company and he won't pay Jimmy $40 or $50 or $100 because you'll go work for him for free. Not you personally. Maybe you will, I don't know.
And he gets a card full of them guys.
Yeah, and then it kills the business. And then people get mad at me because once I find out that you're not playing by the rules, I don't have anything to do with you. I'm not meaning to pick anybody out here, but I will go ahead and do this, and I hope he understands. It's not that I'm picking on him. I want him to understand the business. There's a cat out there running around my last name. And I have nothing against him personal. I understand he's got issues at home that keep him from doing the business the way he wants to do it. I think he's finally understanding that you can't continually fuck people over and they're going to keep hiring you back. But you were told to get rid of the last name. And you were openly threatened on Facebook to get rid of the last name by somebody who could break you in half and shove you back up where you came from.
Keep in mind, this kid never completed training.
No, and it's like, and it's not like I have a personal issue with him, but if he doesn't get rid of the name,
and then his piece of shit mama will come on Facebook.
Yeah, bash the whole show. Your show's not worth a shit if my son's not on it. Lady, you don't know the first thing about this business. That would be like me picking up a phone and calling the doctor and telling me fucked up a brain surgery. I don't know first thing about brain surgery, but it's just like, people, be true to your friends and don't. And there's a fine line between mixing business and friendship. But you can't sell yourself out. You cannot just make yourself look like a fucking idiot for $10. I make myself look like an idiot on a regular basis. I let people talk me into shit, like this one does all the time.
Right.
But I know it going in, and I'm an old man, and I'm responsible for my actions. But when the kids get out there and do this stupid shit, they get mad, and want to blame it on somebody else. Don't blame me because you got in the ring with, say, Jordan Cage, and he made you cry. He made you cry because you didn't belong in the ring with him. And when these young guys get a chance to get in the ring with these dudes, and they don't listen to them, you know.
What I think is funny is when a lot of these young cats will go work for free, and they can go out there and do the ladder match, okay, or street fight or whatever. But when it comes to putting a basic match together,
we would not have.
They don't know how to do it.
Video game wrestling.
Right.
I tried to play that tonight too.
As seen on TV, as a lot of people refer to it as. Because I was recently at a show in Mississippi, and there were this big 8-man Survivor Series match, and I knew none of these guys. And I swear I saw every. Oh, I got to sneeze. Oh. Now.
If you would, like quit blowing people with pubic hair, you wouldn't have that problem.
But I saw every independent high spot and every Monday Night Raw finisher in the book, and I'm yelling from the ring apron. I said, where are we? I said, are we at Raw? Are we at SmackDown? Are we at Ring of Honor? And they basically tried to emulate every move they could. And it told zero story. People could give 2 fucks less. And here I am. I'm looking at this, ironically, this guy named Junkyard Dog Jr. And I went in there, I beat on him for a minute, and he makes this big comeback, gives me the headbutts, and gives me a leg drop for the finish. And it got more over than anything them kids did in that rest of that shithole match.
Do you ever get the feeling when you're, because I have a front row seat for a lot of shit matches.
Yeah.
I mean, I have been in some amazing deals. But do you ever feel like those kids think that like Vince McMahon is in the crowd somewhere?
Well, he is. He is. He's watching down.
You get my point. I mean, it's like, I can do this move, so somebody's looking at me. If my youngest son, we pull him into the fold for me. The potential's there. He's got a lot to learn, but the difference between him and a lot of these young guys is he's trying to prove his point.
Right.
And he wants to listen and he wants to learn. And God, next week, it's a good thing this thing isn't like out for to promote a show or anything.
Oh God.
But really next week, I'm worried about him, and hopefully, whenever this thing finally does get released, we'll look back on this and laugh. And Hunter won't be half dead in a wheelchair somewhere. Right. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to watch. It's fun to watch the young guys that want to learn. And you know what I'm talking about. The difference in, how many shows have you been on where the young guys are just sitting there and they're like, you think they're at the Madison Square Garden, and you're like, where the fuck are you at, dude? It's like you said in Mississippi. Where are we? Let's tell a story. Let's keep it simple and let's make it real. And they don't know how to do that, and it hurts my feelings. It really does. I'm going to cry. And Father Pearson get emotional.
That's right.
You touch my leg one more time, because 9mm, I'll shoot you right in the fucking face.
Wow.
Let's talk PWF.
Really? You need to drink a coffee. So this is the most current chapter.
Yeah.
And as of right now, as the filming of this is like a turd on the brink of the eternal flush. Right. Because we can honestly both say that as of tonight, right now, unless you received word, we don't even know if there is a Pro Wrestling Freedom Factor right now. As of right now, is that a fair statement?
Yeah, and we are filming this on December 14th, 2013.
So either we're going to lose a payday or we're not. So, for every payday we lose, it seems that
so another one comes up.
Yeah.
But in the beginning stage of this, the guy that was promoting this, John Board, would make these outlandish statements about how money is no object, and oh baby, I've got it covered. You're my brother. I'm not gonna fuck you. Blah blah blah. And how untrue those statements were. He sat right in this house.
Hope they're going to edit that part out.
Right, I hope they do too. And said,
stop right there. Now start.
He sat in a house and said, and I quote, "Boys, don't worry about this. Money is no object."
Limousine rides, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, limousine rides, Italian meals.
Jet line?
No, there's no jet line. Now, and the whole thing was based off a con. He wanted to portray like he had money. Well, after his first show bombed, okay? I don't care if there was 300 people there. That show still bombed because
his payroll was as much as WWE.
Right. And then the cracks started coming.
Rephrase that, because that's not like drugs.
You could see through his bullshit at that point. It became more and more clear, especially when we got into the new year, 2013, that something wasn't right here. But I will say this, as far as the in-ring action went, I really don't think there's been a Fed that can top the in-ring performance of the guys. And also the storytelling. And that goes from everybody from OVW to IWA Mid-South, I'll even say that, to, just anybody.
Yeah, for a company that ran the way that was ran financially, the business side of it, and I'm not talking about the wrestling side because you did, and I had to support what you just said. The business side of it was handled as bad as anybody could handle a business, worse than Rick Brady. And that's not an insult on Rick. Rick just wasn't a very genius businessman. But the product, like you just said, that year run, 2013, that Pro Wrestling Freedom had, was, I would put it with any show in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm even talking WWE. The stories, the amount of action you got, the matches you got for your money, you're up close, everything was good, everything was solid. No, we didn't have the production, we didn't have the,
fancy fireworks.
We didn't have all the pyrotechnics, and they didn't have all that, but man, the matches were solid, the stories were solid, the fans were into it. It became something you could tell the people were looking forward to.
And we did all this for $10 a night.
Yeah.
A person could pay a $10 ticket, but yet receive a show that should have been a $25 ticket.
They would leave there, and you could listen to them when they left. They were pissed or they were happy, depending on which side of whoever you wanted to win.
But they got a show nonetheless.
Yeah, I remember the night that what's your boy won the belt.
Kyle Matthews
beat Dustin. Yeah, everybody, because Dustin had not been beaten. He was absolutely the man.
Killing machine.
Yeah. And when he was a heel, and when Kyle Matthews snuck out the win, the place fucking exploded. You would have thought there was 1,000 people in that building. And that's how into the product the people were. And, there's no shame in that. So after tonight, if the show does fold, it had nothing to do with the booking. It had nothing to do with the workers. It had everything to do with the guy who owned the company running up a ton of debt and had no intentions of ever paying anybody back. He cost a guy a job at his radio station. He owes every TV station, radio station, newspaper, any advertising outlet out there, he owes money.
I'll just go ahead and say this. He owed some of his very own employees money.
Absolutely, he did.
Yeah, and
I know one very well.
Yeah, he as it stands right now, I stuck by him, even though he owed me a great deal of money.
Yeah, because Jimmy didn't want to let go of the show because Jimmy's heart was in it. And I'll go ahead and blow it here. Jimmy was working for free, but Jimmy was making sure that all of his friends and brothers and sisters got paid. Jimmy passed his pay up to make sure, y'all, I want you all to listen real fucking close to this. Jimmy worked for free, traveled, was down there week in and week out to make sure that the people he thought were his friends, brothers, and sisters would get paid. Understand that. Okay? And you and some of those same people did a 180, fucked him in the butt, and ran. And then you're going to twist it to where we're the bad guys. I've been down this road before. They don't call me Melanoma Mike for nothing, you know. I'm the cancer of the business. Fuck you. Okay? But hear what I'm telling you and understand and let it sink in. I'm not mad at you. I'm not trying to insult you. This motherfucker worked for free so you all could get a payday. And what you did in return to him, bad business. Not mad at you. You're young, dumb, I guess. I don't know. You're too busy being on the papal journey of forgiveness and, you know, rubbing elbows with people who found God. I'm not sure where they found him at. But, you know, I'm clueless to that.
Probably some casino.
Yeah, you know, the miracle man. And this is not meant as an insult or a shoot or anything else. What I'm trying to do is make you open your brain, listen to your heart, and know that what you did was wrong for a $25 payday. And some of you,
less than that.
Yeah, some of you less than that. And the way I was trained in this business, if you had a booking, you honored that booking. If you had a booking and you mistakenly double booked it, you honored the first booking. Pretty simple deal. But you let somebody, I don't know, something got in your head and said, no, I'm going to fuck that guy who turned his pay down so I could get paid. And you wonder why I'm a little bit bitter here. Well, you know, it's just common courtesy. That's how you treat your family? I don't know. I'm so tired of hearing the word family thrown around in this business that it makes you want to fucking puke. Now, I don't know what the question was originally, but right now I'm preaching, and yeah, you ask for it, you're going to get it, okay? So people get mad at me all you want and send Jimmy all these text messages talking about how self-righteous you are, okay? I'm not trying to argue with you. What I'm telling you is the truth. You know it's the truth, so don't get mad at me, okay? And you can run to all your friends and tell them what Father Fear said, because I know you will. And this will be prophetic, because what is the date?
December 14th.
December 14th, 2013. I promise you, January 14th, 2014, I'm going to make sure the guy brings this back. And I bet you these people I'm talking about will have said, fuck you to me. Will tell everybody what a no-count piece of shit I am for telling the truth. And if that happens, I will make sure that the person that filmed this, because I know him well and I have access, I have his phone number, email, Facebook, I have all that.
Home address.
I have it all. I will make sure that they cut this last segment out for me. And I promise you, I will put it on Facebook. I will put it on you. I will have him put it on. He's got more outlets than I do. It will be everywhere. And before it is posted, these people I'm talking about, your names will be made public. And that's not a threat. It just tells you what a prophet I am in this business. I'm Father Fear, and I'm the truth. It's not a promo. This is a real deal. I know people better than you all ever will. And I've not been wrong yet.
They haven't evolved.
Yeah. Yeah, some people are still evolving. And, you know, and when you're evolving in fucking Clarksville, you're not going to evolve far.
You know, the caveman walking into a wrestler, you know, is really...
They should have like went into the second step and just put the ring there. You know, Neanderthal wrestling. You know, but you know what? They got King Daddy with them now, and they're too stupid. This is another prophecy we'll make. Ian Rotten will run the thing that has evolved right out of the door. They'll suck their money man's money out, and the guys that currently today on December 14th that actually own whatever you want. I don't know what they own, because they have
own
to rent
Evolution.
Yeah, but they have to rent a ring, so they don't even own a fucking ring. How do you own a company you don't own anything? I could wake up tomorrow and say, oh, wait a minute, I don't have to wake up. Hang on one second. Hang on. Props are always good. You read that? Fuck, I own a wrestling company. I ain't got a fucking ring, a trailer, or a truck.
There's a flyer around here somewhere.
Yeah, there's flyers around here too. I own a wrestling company. I'm impressive, ain't I? Yeah. Let me go on a phone call. I got some good friends who are backyard workers, and I'm not being disrespectful to them at all. Trust what I'm telling you. I'm really not, because, you know, we both got some friends that come from the yard.
Or the barn.
Or the barn. And I can call my boys up and say, I want to run a show. Huh, I'm a promoter today. And it's fucked up. That's how easy it is. See, I have a wrestling company. One thing is, this wrestling company can take $300 and turn it into magic. You go to this show for $300 payroll, and you'll come out there going, holy fuck, what was that? You know why? Because I can get quality guys work for me for right, because they love me and I love them. And I can get less than quality guys step up their game. Done it.
Mm-hmm.
Done it.
Absolutely.
You know, we do that. We've done this show. Me and Jimmy have done this show with less talent than you'll ever know, but those guys were willing to bring the best they had. Why? Because they knew we were treating them real. We weren't fucking them. We didn't lie to them. Okay? We weren't stroking them and saying, yeah, you're the next John Cena. No, you're not. They knew that. I gave them a chance. They gave me a chance. You gave them a chance. We had pep rallies before the deal went out. By the time our show started, the motherfuckers wanted to eat your grandma. Is that a true statement? Mm-hmm. They wanted to go out there and rip the heads off people. We had guys that did it because they loved it. And that's the right reason.
Exactly.
And I feel sorry for you, sir, because I know you're getting tired. But when you get us two together to talk about this shit,
it's hard to tell much more.
Yeah. And part of me wants you to go through and edit some of this and release it. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
But, you know,
we're evolving.
Yeah, we're evolving. And, we're either evolving or digressing. I'm not sure which way we're going. But it's that easy to run a wrestling company. That easy.
Oh, and these fucking idiots who keep going back to work for them.
Yeah, I'll catch you next time.
Yeah, and I'll set a scenario for you. They are having a show at a bar. On this flyer, all the way across, Jägermeister presents. Oh, well, we can't pay anybody. That's not a sponsor. Well, when the fucking people that own the show take the fucking sponsor money and get drunk on it and fucking give it to strippers and not pay, and they got a bunch of young guys working for them who just want to work and can't even pay them $20 a piece. Who the fuck are these people?
I can't speak for you, but I'm not coming out of my house for that kind of money.
Yeah.
You know.
But, and then expect them to get cut up and do death matches in the process. That's horrible business. But yet people, since they are now...
And wait a minute, though. Let's not just pick on them. Because, by God, they're not the only ones out there.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
But now, since they're affiliated with IWA Mid-South, the best in the area, or so people think.
They are, right now.
Right now they are. It's okay to go back to work for them. But,
I'm going to buy a ring.
Yeah.
Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. December 14th?
December 14th.
I'm going to buy a ring. You hear that? Well, the difference is we will evolve.
Yes.
And you motherfuckers are all scared of us, too, so get over it. We know it. We do, don't we?
Yeah, the guys will continue to work for these cocksuckers.
It's amazing. Now, while we're talking about yarders and shows, let me give a shout out to Danny Walker, XCW.
You know what you're getting.
He doesn't claim to be Vince McMahon. He doesn't beat his chest. He puts on a low-budget show. He gives the marks exactly what they want. Every once in a while he'll spend a couple dollars. And it's a fun time and everybody enjoys it. But he doesn't walk around pretending he's something he's not. He does it for the love of the business.
Yeah.
And Danny, one of my favorite people. And I can't know what he does for you, but he pays me pretty fucking good. He pays me good, I like it. I mean, you get my point. It's not like we're just bashing guys for using people who aren't great, because that's not the deal.
No.
The Barn, Corydon, Indiana, SHW. The guys give 115%. Is it the best show in the town? No. But the effort's great, the atmosphere's cool. Where else can you drink wine, shoot whiskey, and blow dope, or whatever it is you do, and get fucking completely retarded and watch people beat the holy fuck out of each other? It's a great time. And it's family. It doesn't mean it's a family show, trust me, I'm telling you. But remember the wine bottle night, that was a great night. But did we just take over this whole thing?
No, you're fine.
Sorry. I need a break.
But we're going to wrap this up.
We're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
We're just getting going good.
Yeah, but I'm short on time.
Wow, we've never been cut off before.
Sure, it's part 2.
Yeah, we'll have a part 2. Okay.
We're just getting started. There'll be about 8 parts to this. I told you that.
I appreciate you all coming on and doing this interview.
Just remember, evolve.
Right.
You got to evolve. You got to evolve. Always evolve. Any questions you have for the guy interviewing? Because I got one. What do you plan on doing with this? What is your goal with this Inside Wrestling Truth? You know, as you say it, this is Josh from Inside Wrestling Truth.
Yeah. I'm gonna make some DVDs.
I want to see a DVD with Peaches.
And I just interviewed these guys that work in the Indies. Because they bust their ass and do it for a real reason.
You're right. You're right about that. I bet most of them guys you interview I know.
Some of them, yeah.
I've seen your work. I think, last time you interviewed me, I wanted to slap paste out of your mouth, and I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate the time that you've given us, because we've been here a long time.
That's right.
And,
Yeah.
the lights are a little warm in here. Get your hands away from me, you goofy faggot. And I'm sure a lot of this will get edited out, but, all I ask is, if you do any editing, let us know what you're editing.
Alright, I will.
We don't need to really sign off at this point, do we, or do we?
No.
I'm Father Fear.
Everyone will sign off.
Yeah. I'm Father Fear. This is Jimmy the Queer. That's Josh. That's his technician assistant back there. See y'all later. Bye. Well, was that entertaining?